So I said to him, if you collect enough football stickers, you're about to get an Irish goalkeeper eventually. It's a given.
Fair enough. What was that? Like, you fucked that.
That's a given. Irish goalkeeper. We're going to keep going with this, by the way. I'm not doing that again.
You've got a Newcastle fan on the podcast. Speaking of Shane Givens.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell, and with me as always the nice man comedy Paddy Lynn.
Hello.
Who took a drink at the wrong time.
It's only a fucking 30th episode or something.
Already sweating his tits off just thinking about football.
And that mystery voice you can hear, that is our guest for this week. It's the fantastic Mr. Kai Humphries. How you doing, man?
I've never been called fantastic before. That was nice. Thank you.
Mate, I talk about you in glowing terms all the time, just not in front of you, apparently. I need to work on that a bit more. So, obviously, because we've got you on, we're going to talk a bit about Newcastle before we get into the Euros chat, which is what this is usually about. We had Mark in last week talking about Scotland, and he was surprisingly optimistic. So
it made me optimistic.
He's a passionate man, Mark.
He's made me optimistic. Like, I was feeling the worst, but now I'm like, we can win this.
He's saying they're heading out to Germany without a ticket, hoping for the best thing, isn't he? Are you doing that now? Oh man, I went on the ticket tout website and just fucking had my eyes taken out so I can get to the Slovenia game. Slovenia.
Fuck it, man. Like, my wee cousins get a ticket. I'm just going to try and double up with them.
Like fucking both in the same trench coat, like. Suit my tall man.
Aye, mate.
I just hope the Germans haven't heard of that ploy. Like.
Aye, they've never seen that before. 3 kids in a trench coat.
So what got you into football in the first place, Guy? What was it?
Fucking... I just think being from Newcastle, you have to. It's just like you kind of knew the chants before you'd even seen a game. I'm sure I was fucking chanting about Andy Cole before I'd even seen a game of football. It's just part of the DNA in the northeast.
It's very similar up here in that way. You don't really have a choice.
And I see it happening with the new generation in that. Like, my 3-year-old godson, we've got him singing Sandro Tonali and all that. Like, we've got him doing all the chants. And he's never seen a kick around yet. He's just gonna wake up with an awareness to it, and then all of a sudden he's watching football. Like, I think it's just in that.
That's one of my favourite chants as well. Even though he's like hardly ever played for Newcastle. What was it? He
drinks Moretti, eats spaghetti, hates fucking Sunderland. And I was out in Milan. I went to the game at the San Siro in the Champions League, and I got these 3 Milan fans in their Milan shirts singing it, and it fucking went viral across. These 3 going viral across all the Newcastle sites and that.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
It's my favourite bit is just that he hates Sunderland. Like,
did you see the game last night? The Sunderland fans at St James's Park put out St George's Cross with Sunderland. And hung it right on the front of the pitch, and a Geordie lad went and wiped his arse on it.
This is unreal. I'll send this to you, mate. It's unreal, man.
It's class, isn't it?
He doesn't just wipe his arse with it, he gets it up there.
Up his arse. And then people were like, it's a St George's Cross, that's disrespectful, and every Geordie's like, collateral damage, mate. Absolute collateral damage, couldn't give a fuck.
That's so good, man. Isn't there a history of that though? Didn't a Sunderland fan in like 2017 to show his displeasure take a shite in the Stadium of Light just on his seat? I'm sure I heard that. Or he had his arse out. He claimed he hadn't done a shite, but there was a lot of rumours that he'd done it.
It is legit. Like, one of them fucking seagulls, so I wouldn't put it past him. That news story, fucking held a seagull between his legs while he wanked on it and got arrested. Because it was caught on camera.
If we descended that
as if your Daily Sport headline in it.
It was a fucking beauty, man, because the seagulls came out. I was at the derby the first time we played each other in 8 years or something. And, it was in the FA Cup, and the fucking seagulls just came out on cue, started swooping towards the home fans, and the Geordie's like, "Way, fucking cocktease."
I love that the Sunderland fans have seen like one of yous punch a horse, and they're like, "We've got to one up them." There, like, we've got to do
somebody shag a seagull.
Oh, that was a bastard. Like, when I was in Australia.
What, the horse?
I was in Australia when that happened, and it was fucking global news. I watched the news story on telly in Australia. I go, oh no. Fucking, I got roped into the talking heads thing, as you know, and they're just like, wait, we need a Geordie for this news story. And I'm doing the fucking moments of 2013 fucking December talking heads fucking show. Just for the TV opportunity, dickhead that punched a horse.
I think you're just saying that so we know you've got an alibi on that day. Like,
I was in Australia. It couldn't have been me.
What was the first game you went to, mate?
Peter Beardsley's testimonial.
What? That was my first Newcastle game.
Well, there's
Aye, 'cause I'm a Newcastle fan as well. Aye, mate.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
fuck aye.
Guys, I did the flute.
Aye, fucking because did Gaza came on for Keegan or Keegan came on for Gaza or something?
Yeah,
That was
one of the other. Aye.
Because I remember, were you sat in the away end or sat with the Geordies?
No, I was sat with the Geordies. I was down by the corner flag.
Can you remember all the Celtic fans holding up the Newcastle scarf so they see a green and white pulled up the black and white scarves?
No, mate, I couldn't
just-
see that before where I was.
I just remember that being like just an amazing moment in a stadium. Like,
Aye, because we've had loads of testimonials against each other.
Aye.
Like for Shearer's testimonials
as well,
the same,
uh-huh.
aye. But that was my first Newcastle United game.
Dalglish come on that game now.
Beardsley's
we got quite a harvest of fucking legends watching that game. of football,
Aye,
like,
actually, that's quite a good point.
Yeah.
But did
Ballon d'Or
Dalglish?
winners.
I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure Dalglish didn't. Did Keegan play for Newcastle? Or was it just managing?
They played.
Did he?
Aye, back in the pre-Premier League era, obviously.
Aye. But I mean, like, I know he won the Ballon d'Or twice.
2 years
But
ago.
I couldn't tell you much about Keegan's playing career at all. Like, I just don't know about it. But
Too old. It's too far back for me. Like.
He played for Hamburg as well, didn't he?
He did.
That's where he won
aye.
everything. Aye.
This is wild, man. It's to think about. He's such an accident-prone human being. How he's travelled all over the world and won a Golden Globe.
Golden
He won a Golden Globe.
He did that by accident. And all,
He might have won a Grammy for one of his songs. Like, did he release a song or an album or something?
Aye,
must have.
he
Must have,
released
didn't
a
he?
song saying there should be no women in football.
Featuring Joey Barton, like ludicrous coming on doing a fucking
That's the weird thing about Keegan when you think about it. Like, obviously, 2-time Ballon d'Or winner. Very few people can claim that, and yet when you think of him now, it's the thing he says about women in football, or that fantastic rant he did as manager of Newcastle United.
That rant always keeps coming back, doesn't it?
Aye.
That's when he lost it a little bit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, as much as it's like an iconic rant, that's when the wheels came off the bus.
Yeah,
really,
that's
like,
when he cracked. Aye.
yeah. Pressure got
Fergie's
to
just
him.
cracked him, man.
And then he came back, didn't he? A couple of years later.
And then he fucked off because they sold.
No, they signed Gonzalez, was it? Nacho Gonzalez,
no,
without his permission.
I thought they sold Milner.
Yeah, that was his second time back.
Yeah.
Because I see his second time back when he come in, he replaced Sam Allardyce,
Yeah.
and then they started. There was someone called Cisco, a player called Cisco or
Yeah,
something that they
yeah.
signed because fucking like Mike Ashley had a fucking deal with the agent or something.
Yeah, so what it was, because I actually just listened to a pod about this, it was just by chance. Dennis Wise took over as director of football or something like that, and like one of the leading agents in South America said, if you take this player on, we'll give you all the best deals for the up and coming South American talent. And it's like when the guy sold Magic Beans, like he just went, oh yeah, sure, that's a great idea. And obviously Messi went to Barcelona. he didn't get him, surprisingly.
And that was the same year that he turned down Luka Modric because he was too small. Mike Ashley said he was too small, as if he should have had any part in the fucking choosing of a footballer.
Nah, it was ridiculous, innit, man?
Imagine, he's just when
you think you kind of hate the guy anymore.
He's just won his sixth Champions League, Luka Modric. 6.
He's signed for another year as well. He's nearly 40, man.
Still playing at like 38, 39 years old.
That's
fucking
wild,
in that could have been us.
Aye.
Well, what was Mike Ashley's tenure there? Like, it started so positively because he would get always be wearing like the top, and he would get involved with the fans and like all that kind of stuff. And when he went Sunderland away because he said he couldn't wear his shirt in the boardroom, he just went and sat in the away end, and all the fans were like, "Oh, this guy, like, he's proper one of
Drinking
us."
a pint, like having a pint with the fans and all that. He come in, it did feel like it was got rid of Sam Allardyce and that, like, straight away, like that. Who knew what he really wanted? Like it did seem like it was going to be good, and then it was utter shite. It was utter shite. And then when Pardew had that one season where we finished 5th, it looked like it was coming to fruition, and it actually was this like, oh, could there be something in this? And then it just fucking went to shite again.
8-year contract.
The 8-year deal, that's I think it fried my brain, man.
Inspired Chelsea, that's what that did, you know. Although some of his quotes are outstanding. Like when he said, I don't drink often, but when I do, I binge. I'm a power drinker. I drink to get drunk. And you're just like...
He was trying to appeal to Geordies. He spoke the language at the time. But it was just that, like, you can watch him selling players that cost next to nought, like starting off with Andy Carroll. And you'd watch them sell players that cost next to nothing, and then fucking the money just didn't come back in.
Yeah.
You and Kabay down by bar, like fucking players would just like would just get like coming in for next to now, getting turned over, and we're like, oh, so we're just feeding clubs and getting money off them, and the money doesn't get put back.
Yeah.
We'll get relegated if that's what it costs.
Yeah.
Like, it was fucking awful. Like.
And the manager turnover rate.
I'm glad we got rid of that regime.
Yeah, it's all plain sailing now.
Took me blinkers on.
But this is what I said to you. I said to a bunch of people, like, obviously you can point out the things that are wrong with the Saudi regime and all that kind of stuff, but you can't.
I love the spin that I put on it. Like, you're murder and journalists. We hate journalists. We're comedians.
But you can't be angry at Newcastle fans for being happy that they now no longer have Ashley and do have people that will invest in the club.
And you know, if you just look at it with your eyes open and going, let's look at the sports washing. Fucking what it is what's happening.
Yeah.
You see what they did with the deaf kids, putting them in their fucking haptic t-shirts so that they vibrated when they scored and all that. I'm being sports washed, it's working. I'm like, what a fucking wonderful thing you did for them youngins.
Yeah. So nice.
Like, it's so nice.
You guys are sound.
Yeah, fucking just wash all that blood away with a little bit of help for the community in the northeast of England.
Well, yeah, it's what happened. It's what happened at City, like, because they redeveloped all the area around the stadium, and everyone's like, "Well, they're doing great stuff for us." But
like dark clouds have been lifted at the cost of women's rights in the Middle East.
Yeah,
may not let them drive, but you know, the deaf kids.
There you go. That's your takeaway from this. But the manager turnover under Ashley was insane, and the choices they consistently made under it. People like Joe Kinnear. Like, who was well past his best by the time he came in.
Do a better job now.
But what was it?
John Carver was a mad bastard.
Aye.
He's the Scotland number 2.
Yes.
I only seen that yesterday or something. I was like,
assistant manager, we should clear he's not the second choice goalkeeper. No, what didn't Kinnear in a press conference walk in and say, "Who's Simon Bird?" The guy went, "Me," and he went, "You're a cunt," straight away in the press conference.
I remember he tried to come in swinging with a Mourinho chat like he was the special one for a bit, like, didn't he? He was going on, he was the best manager, like he was a genius.
Aye.
Everyone was like, "You're just a caretaker, mate." Like, what are you doing?
Can't even pronounce Charles Nzogby his name correctly. What was it? Charles Insomnia?
Charles Insomnia.
Yeah, that's great. You got to give him that. I think Nzogby refused to play under him after that, but
that's right. I did.
I mean, Nzogby was a bit of a nut job as well, if we're being honest. But what we want to talk about next? Oh yeah, obviously the biggest result this season was PSG, which I believe you were at.
Oh, that was fucking phenomenal. Because that this season, right, it's been so up and down. With, like, you know, we've beat Man City in the cup, like we've beat Man United a couple of times. We're fucking PSG. And it's such a good season, but then getting beat off Nottingham Forest with a fucking hat-trick from Chris Wood. Like,
that's got his sting in particular.
I think we got like a point off Luton. Like, it's just been so up and down. But I have had the best home experience and the best away experience in the derby. But the best home experience I've ever been in my life was that like it felt like what it must have been like to be at the Barcelona 3-2 with a fucking Faustino Asprilla hat-trick.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like one of them iconic. That would have been released on VHS if we were in a different era. Type of game, and we were there watching it, and we were right underneath the PSG fans where we were sat, so they were loud as fuck, so it meant that we just were fucking in full voice the whole time. That brings you on that.
That
brings you on if you're near the away fans and they're fucking giving it the beans. Like, you cannot help yourself, but like, I had no voice at the end of it. Like, what?
Oh, of course,
what a fucking game. And Fabian Shaw, just the fucking the spirit filling out there. Hello. Just because we're shitting ourselves there as well. Because even though it was 3-1, we've fucked up worse in the past than that, right?
And you've still got like fucking Mbappe, like.
So you're just there going, 3-1 isn't enough, like. And then when he did that, because they were pouring the pressure on a bit at the time as well, and when he did that, like, the fucking release of the tension, just everyone's buttholes fucking unclenching for a bit. That was.
And you think of the scorers, like, obviously it was Almiron, Dan
Burn,
Sean Longstaff.
He's from down the road from where I grew up. The nice end of the tracks, like. But he's from
I was going to say that explains the fingers, but but no, it's like it wasn't any superstar signings really that got the goals for you.
That was Steve Bruce's team.
Mate,
another brilliant manager.
To go back to Chris Wood was the first signing after the money came in, and I remember being like who are we going to sign? We're going to get Mbappe, we're going to get fucking Neymar. And it was like Chris Wood with a number 9 on his back. You're like, fuck's that.
It was so funny. Like,
That's your Robinho moment.
That was Robinho.
because that was like I kind of knew at that moment that we were going to be sensible with our money, like in a way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're not just staying that fucking 19-year-old with a fucking credit card thing. Well, like actually going out with like reinforcements in the correct areas and all that. Like it didn't feel like we were being flash. And I was like, all right, it's not like we're going to get the piss took to a little bit, but we're steadying the ship. We're in a relegation battle. And we're treating it like a relegation battle. It felt taking the striker off our number 1 competition in the relegation battle. Couldn't move. Bit of shithousery. A 2-for-1 signing.
That's actually a good point. I didn't think of it that way.
A dozen goals after him.
But see, now you're starting to make some more bigger signings. Like Tonali, I thought was a brilliant piece of business. Obviously, it turned out he was
from Milan.
a bit of a naughty boy. But you go in and sign AC Milan's captain, like. There would have been a time that would have seemed like an impossible dream to like Newcastle fans to go in.
It's almost like there was a catch. Which I'm gonna defend Tonali and I'm gonna defend Ivan Toney, right? In that these kids grow up watching football and they're constantly being advertised to about betting. Yeah. They're fucking run like sandwich boards with Fun 88 on or whatever the fuck, like whatever. Yeah, you're not just being advertised to, you're helping them advertise. Yeah. As soon as he put on a bet, you're the biggest cunt in the world, you're fucking banned for 9 months, you're like fucking suspended, you're fined by the club and all that. And you're like, you've been advertising to them, water torturing them since they were kids, that bet. Ray Winston's
giving it, fucking have a bang on that.
4-1. What are you, pussy?
He's a scary man, you do what he says as well. But that's...
So I just feel like there's a little bit of fucking, you've just got to go and just...
I think take some responsibility for this yourself, football, you know.
Like, I think, see if you're betting on your team to win.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Do you know what I mean? If you're betting on something that has like, nothing to do with your team.
See if you're betting on yourself to get a yellow card, fair play, man. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're betting on your team to get beat, banned. But like, if you're betting on yourself to win.
Like, you're betting on football in Romania. I mean, like, it literally will have no impact on you. And also, you think about it, they've got, a year worth of ban, yet someone can be racist on the pitch, and then we're like, it's 9 games, matches, that's it. Like, that's a
inquiry, that doesn't amount to anything.
One's definitely worse than the other, and it's not the gambling, you know? Like, we need to get our priorities sorted in football, really, don't we?
We brought him in, and then that happened, and then we got Harvey Barnes in, and he broke his toe or something, was it his toe? He was out for the first half of the season. So it was almost like our war chest for the summer was null and void. So it was a bit of a false start to the season, which was a shame. And also the fact that we're massively overachieved. In the, I was going to say the first season was a relegation battle because it was like half a season, wasn't it? But the first full season was massive overachievement. Like, we couldn't believe it was happening. And nobody really thought that it was going to maintain to that degree.
Of course,
But I've got high hopes for next season.
Oh yeah, I think
Europe's a good thing.
I think when you take this season in, like, full account, first time back in the Champions League, the amount of injuries you've had, the fact that Tonali was gone.
That's for goalkeeper, man. That's for number one.
To be fair, he got himself off the pitch quite a few times, to be fair.
For the final,
was that the Liverpool fucking what happened there, man? I was backstage at a gig and I was like about to get on and that happened and I was just grabbing my hair, just like, what the fuck? What the fuck's just happened? My cup final's fucked. We've totally...
that's it.
To be fair, your backup goalies aren't bad.
He's been good, man.
Dubravka's been decent.
You know what? I think he's a good shot stopper, but like, you know, the nerves that I feel when someone passes to him. That really fucking goes through the whole stadium, that. If a goalkeeper's not that good with their feet, that feeling of just discontent when the goal, like, to have that, like, it's real, it's palpable. I want a footballer at the back.
No, well, that's the way football's gone, I suppose. Now you can't just have a really good shot stopper, especially like the way Eddie Howe wants to actually play football.
Play it for the back.
So what are your expectations for next season? What are you kind of hoping for?
You know what, a good domestic cup run, because we've had a couple of good fucking runs at it. Like I thought this season, a couple of quarterfinals, like it's obviously the final in the Carabao. Season before, I reckon without the outside pressure of Europe, we're gonna have a good run at one of them. And I'd put me money on we're qualifying for Europe and I'll come back and haunt us. But I'd actually, I'm going to check the odds and make a happy bet on qualifying for Europe in some capacity.
Europa League or whatever, man.
I feel like that's going to happen unless we get pilfered. Unless Gimresh and Isaac get pilfered by teams that have got Champions League football, and we'll just have to put our hands up and go, well, we didn't do enough to keep them. Yeah, which would be a shame. And as long as they gan for what they're worth, the fucking free figure, like money, and we can redistribute it across the team. Yeah. But I just really hope we can hang on to them because we're fucking building the team around some fucking really good players right now.
Yeah. See, if you could only keep one, which one would you keep it to? Because I was saying Isak for the goals, because goals are harder to replace, aren't they?
I'm inclined to say Isak, but fuck me,
Bruno, man.
You'd miss that graft leg. You know what makes United great? Oh, that teams fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Oh, that teams despise him because they fucking get annoyed by him because he disrupts them. And that's enough for you to go and right. He's doing something right here.
But he's so much more than that, though. He's real quality footballer as well. His passing, his striking.
You know what I was saying? If he's shooting, if he just shot the ball as if Trippier was waiting to receive the pass at the back of the net, he'd fucking score from range every single time. Because the amount of times he finds Trippier, like, Trippier could be on the move and he'll put the ball on his fucking toe. And just like, if he take a shot like he's in the back of the goal, like that's going in every single time.
You need to get down and say that to me.
Trippier warming up behind the goals, man.
That was like Shearer ringing Sean Longstaff and telling him to just aim for the goal. And fucking started scoring goals freely. Stop trying to be so precise and just make sure you hit the net.
Was it Paul Ince or John Barnes who had a note that just said shoot on it and he gave it to one of his strikers? One of the greatest players in Premier League history.
I didn't know who the game was, but did you ever see that video of the fans behind the goal with the arrows?
Yeah.
Whichever side of the pitch the ball was in, they're running with the arrows.
Unreal power.
Mate, you got to admire fans like that. They just lean into it. Right, okay, so we'll go with favourite Newcastle player, both like go in history and then of the current team.
You know what? From when I was younger, Tino Asprilla was one of my favourite players, like to watch, just because he was the flair on him. And I got to play against him in a charity match.
Wow.
Fucking hell, mate.
I nutmegged him.
No.
I got the ball through his legs, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, it was like laying a glove on Muhammad Ali when he had Parkinson's. It doesn't count. The guy was ill. The guy was fucking ill. Right? He fucking put sugar on his chips before the game. He went and bought chips and then went straight past the salt and grabbed some sugar without noticing. Fucking sugared his chips at them. I don't know if it was coke damage. I don't know if he spent too much time in Colombia. I don't know if he's been to jail. I don't know what he's been doing since that hat-trick against Barcelona. But when I put that ball through his legs, honestly, it felt wrong.
But your soul died.
Felt wrong. It was like I could just tell it as Meg Tino, but the real story is I make it that wasn't well.
You can't wait till I've got a mouthful of drink before you say something like that.
Like Leonard.
Oh fucking hell! What about the current squad then? Who's your favourite in the current squad?
Oh fucking! I'm looking at Isaac, like he's cool as fuck. He's cool as fuck. You know that? Who was that goal against where he just fucking pipped it out at the keeper and then just stood with his hands on his hips as the ball went in? That sort of shit, man.
Aye, just relax.
And he's the new Mackham Slayer as well. He's fucking scoring freely against Sunderland.
Don't compare him to Shola. I think he'll score a few more goals than Shola.
Club legend, mate. Love that guy.
Inexplicably.
I love him, mate. It was amazing.
And also like fucking special mention to Fabian Shaw of the current crop because like what was he like 300,000 or something costing out. And he's been worth all the millions that the fucking Saudis could have put on the table.
100%.
Fabian Shaw.
The thing with him is not only is he a good centre back, but he's like. Even before it really became popular, he was a ball playing centre back that would actually play from the back.
Step out.
Back at Basel, was it? He was at the Swiss team, Basel or Basel or however you pronounce it. I'm sure that was it. He's always been like that. He's a really good player.
And he seems to pair with most people as well. Like he pairs with a lot of centre backs, and he must like his communication must be on point. Like so.
Yeah, I mean Botman's outstanding when he's fit, but he's
you could tell he was fucked, couldn't you?
Yeah,
like he wasn't his usual self in his last few games there, and then when it was announced that he was going to be getting an operation for a while, I was like, something
you could see that
something
coming,
wasn't right because he looked like he could could have been the fucking next Van Dijk for Holland in his first fucking season.
Yeah.
And then you looked at him in the last few games and went, there's something not right there. So hopefully he gets to bounce back from that, because I know that can be a massive setback. That.
He looks like the kind of guy that would be able to bounce back from that to me. But you're funny, you were talking about Bruno and Isak. The team that they're most closely linked to is the one I follow in England, Arsenal. And if I could pick between the two of them, I'd probably take Bruno.
Aye.
I love Isak's goals. One, you're not going to sell him, I don't think. Certainly
it would
not
take
to
crazy money to
so,
sell him.
yeah. But Bruno, like I said on the previous pod by you, him in a midfield with Odegaard and Rice just sounds very appealing to me.
That would be gross.
I'd happily do that. Hey, look, if I can get over the fact
you'd win
that
things, and I didn't think I could have that. I think we're going to have to factor that into the fucking price tag if you come sniffing around them. Like,
because when a Premier League is 500 million.
Because for now we seem to have a rivalry between Arsenal and Newcastle. The past few games there's a bit of needle in it, isn't
I've got a really disproportionate amount of friends who support Arsenal. Like, and it's weird. Like, I don't know how it's happened. I don't have my generation, because obviously they would have been the football awakening, would have been the glory days of winning the Premier League.
Yeah,
the Invincibles and shit.
There's glory seekers on my generation.
Well, see, it was in 2014, I think it was. Someone called me a glory hunter for supporting Arsenal. I'm like, mate, we haven't won anything about 10 years. I'm still doing it.
You've got to commit to your glory seeking. Like,
once you're there.
To be fair,
Daniel Sloss just supports Wrexham now because Chelsea weren't working for him. Kind of change your team. More respect being a nonce.
Well, they have committed to their team, to be fair. They shouldn't, but they have done. What some iconic Newcastle moments? Because most of the ones I can think of are probably not good ones for you. So, do you have any happy ones?
Any happy iconic moments?
Yeah.
Fucking. Because when you're talking about the not happy ones, one of the most iconic moments that I was there to see was fucking Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer.
That was what you were going to say.
Chinning each other against Villa when we're down 2-0.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Absolutely tearing lumps at each
What
other.
was that like in the stadium? Because obviously nobody really knew what it was about until years later.
People left. Loads of people left. Like, I'm not staying to watch the lads fighting.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not leaving to miss it.
I fucking love it,
I fucking love it right on me.
Do you think it's potentially Souness's influence? Like, because he was the manager at the time, wasn't he, Souness?
Yes,
because he pulled them out and made them both apologise to the camera, didn't he? I'm sure he did that after the game.
But too little, too late, because they missed the final. The final, it wasn't the final, but it was at Cardiff. It was the semi-final against Man United. So they missed that with a suspension. Is it that one and all? Fucking, I haven't got many iconic moments that were good. I had a first this year. I was behind the goal when we won a penalty shootout against Blackburn. That was nice, because I've never been to a penalty shootout before. Fuck me, the nerves are real. Like, what a belt I feel that is. You know, when you think about life experiences and things that course through your veins to make you feel. That is one of them things. That's what I love so much about football. You're tying something you've got no control over to your emotions, and it's got more control over your emotions than anything else in your life. I've always said that, like, all of the things that I love in life, right? Whether it's fucking having sex with your wife, getting paid, all of the good shit, right? None of that makes us jump around like when a goal gets in. like fucking start hugging me mates after a shag. Jump and run, that jump and run feeling. Like if you didn't commit yourself wholeheartedly to football or other sports, I'm sure, you didn't allow yourself that. And just when I was at that penalty shootout, that was one of their moments where I just give my emotions to the fucking beast that is football. And just fucking watch it drag us through the fucking cold and come with good. Come up without the desolation. It's also gone all the way to fucking Ewood Park to get knocked in the FA Cup.
It's also the only time you celebrate a save as much as a goal. I remember, like, it was Champions League. Celtic were playing Spartak.
The qualifier, aye. Unreal.
And Big Boric made some big saves for us, and we were just going mental. It was like genuine. It is unlike celebrating a goal at any other point.
You're gonna love this as Scottish lads, but I hadn't stopped celebrating Pickford's save once Saka had missed. So I was still jumping up and doing, going mad. at the save when we got beat. And it was the moment where people started tapping each other. And you seen that? And we're like, oh,
fuck off.
Oh, man.
Oh, my poor wee boy. I feel so sorry for him.
That must have been hard for you Arsenal supporting Scottish lads. Like,
yeah.
Just watch him be... He scored a few pens since then, though.
He has, yeah.
He's-
He's I mean, it's difficult because seeing the Euros final where Chiellini pulls him back.
That was unreal, man.
I'm on the one hand going, do you want to leave him alone? On the other hand, it's fucking hilarious.
It's just hilarious, man.
I have
He's
to
like a
respect
dad.
that shit. Like, as much as you do, like, when it's happening to your team when you're watching and that, like, you look at that guy and it's the dirty side of the game.
Aye.
That's what I love about that fucking Carvajal.
Yeah.
That's the closest we've got to Roy Keane right now. Like, I fucking love watching that dirty bastard. Like, it's fucking class.
Clattering.
He was born in the wrong century and he's still doing it, the wrong decade, wrong millennium.
Pepe was the best at it.
He should have been playing football in the 90s, that lad.
Pepe's still doing it though.
I know, mate.
Pepe's still going
like,
strong, man.
Studding people in the ankles all the time.
Yeah.
Being a right dirty cunt.
Well, we kind of touched on England there, so we'll move on to England chat now. This is going to be harder for us to have to sit and stuff. But what's one of your best memories watching England? Then what's one of the?
You know what? This guy's fucking horrible on this mostly Scottish podcast. I purposefully didn't wear my England top. I was at the match last
You'd have
night.
been more than welcome, mate. Like we would have been.
I better. I tried to buy one, man, in Silverburn. I went into JD Sports and asked the lass, "Do you have England tops at the last tournament?" And she was like, "I can't believe you asked that." In fucking Glasgow, I honestly can't believe you asked that. What are you fucking talking about?
What's my accent, bro?
I was like, because I live in Scotland. I'll come here. I'll take your jobs. I'll take your women, but I'm not taking your football team. Like, I'm still keeping my football team.
Well, that's actually quite interesting because Joe Casey's from Newcastle, another comedian, and he says he doesn't really care about the English national team.
I'm club over country. I'm club over country, 100%. I'd see my team win the Carabao Cup before I saw England win the World Cup. Just
Aye.
I think most Scousers would say the same.
So
you have that, but I still love an international tournament. Like, it's the best. And like I like the lads that play for England. Like I fucking. Even like the manager, I think we could deal with a more attacking manager with the proper players that we've got. But I think he's a good bloke. That said, best game I think was when we beat Germany 2-0 in the last one. I think that's the closest I've come to tears, and I kind of fucking believe it. That's happened, especially after the fucking history that we've had with them. With that Lampard goal that fucking just opened up a rout because everyone's fucking heads went down.
That's right.
I remember watching that 2-0 game, and I also couldn't believe it, but I think for different reasons than you. Like, I was in the gym at the time just going, oh, fuck off, no way. How are they doing that? Because I know Germany have been kind of poor at international tournaments recently, but against
Still
England,
Germany.
they always seem to find a way, usually. Obviously, that 5-1 aside as well. When was that again?
That was 2010.
Was it?
No,
it
would have
was
been
even
earlier
before
than
that. Was Owen not playing?
Oh, you're talking about the Heskey Owen?
Yeah, like that.
Because I was
That was
still at
in
the
the-
sports centre, working at the sports centre, but I was trying to decide, like, you know, when you try to do off comedy terms, stand up or not, because there's a crossover. That would have been like
Aye.
mid-thousands.
Aye.
Any other highlights? Because if I'm going to bring up any highlights for England, they'll all be negative for you, like genuinely.
It will be like pretty much every penalty shootout bar one.
Oh
against Colombia.
The fucking Colombia penalty shootout that we
yeah.
won on me stag do, because
that's
I was with so many Scottish lads. Like a lot of my mates are Scottish. I'm practically part of our culture.
Yeah.
There was so many enemies of the state, like fucking waiting for our demise.
Yeah.
It was just such a split room, and I fucked it right. Like I'm not a superstitious man, right? But when we're winning and it was in the fucking dying embers, I just turned to my mate Matty, an English lad, and I just went, "We fucking won this. We're through." He just went, what have you done that for? And then fucking Yerry Mina went and scored.
Aye,
And my mate wouldn't tag us. He wouldn't tag us for drinking it. I was like, I don't believe in witchcraft. Like, I couldn't have been me. I don't have that power. If I had that power, I'd use it a lot more wisely than what I've just spent it right now. Like, I don't know what makes you think that influences the universe in such a dramatic way, but I really appreciate the fucking gesture. But then when we went to penalties and we fucking won some penalties, that for me, the fucking relief of that, the fucking felt like the curse had been broken, even though it's been fucking restored. That moment, that was one of the fucking most joyous, because like we're in the pits when they equalised, and when we got to penalties we were doomed. So when we won it, that was one of the best moments.
Yeah, because England have like obviously a known bad record at with penalties, but like I looked up some of it recently, and it was the 2 against Portugal in consecutive tournaments, 04-06.
Yeah.
That the goalie didn't wear gloves, Ricardo. Was that his name?
That mad bastard.
And then in one of them he scored the winning penalty. Like, Portugal need to get a grip of themselves seriously.
Cheeky as fuck.
He's roughing it. He's taking his gloves off and scored penalties. Come on, mate.
Play with no shoes on, like fucking tap me on off the Hurricanes.
In England's defence, at that tournament they did have Darius Vassell playing for them, so like, you know, we've all got.
That's right. You know, when I think of stuff like that about the depth, when like that's what's next in line.
Yeah.
Like the depth that we'll have now. Like the England squad gans deep now.
Yeah.
We might not have the best starting 11 that we've ever had. Like it's good. It's a very, very good starting 11, but it might not match up with that, you know, Lampard, Gerrard, that era where Scholes couldn't get in the team.
Right? Fucking
like,
Pete Rooney.
Pete Rooney.
Pete Rooney, man.
I just feel like it gans a lot deeper. There's a lot more under the surface.
Aye, because you have more than one striker now, which is always a good thing. And like, I was looking up some of the squads from back then. Players like Sean Wright-Phillips, who, at Man City, before they got good, looked all right. But you had players like Joleon Lescott and Rob Green, and it was like proper.
USA. That was a nightmare.
That was the USA game, the 2010. Do you know that game, right? It was one of my first main supports at the stand. So I was up in the house. In the headline, I was over from America, a lad from Dwayne Perkins, and we're like, amazing, there's fucking Englishman American in the house, let's watch the fucking game together. And just sat together. We just met that day, and we watched the fucking most boring 0-0 I've ever seen in my life.
To be fair, America have a habit of just getting shite results against you. It's like it's never an exciting game of football, is it, when England plays America?
No.
Who's the? Oh, okay, we've just been talking about the depth. So who out of this team do you think is the most exciting, the most key one for the tournament that's coming up?
I feel like fucking cliche here. This is like saying Godfather was my favourite film. Bellingham.
Yeah,
It's
the
fact he's a winner.
Yeah.
He's a winner. He's just went out and won the Champions League.
Yeah.
And he's fucking stepping into the like. I just feel like he could be the lad that just take with that extra mile that we've missed. And I love his mentality. Although I did find it laughable, and fucking Paddy Power picked up on it as well. I noticed that tweet about when he gets people that doubted us. People that's doubted us. Nobody's ever doubted you. That's like the one man there's never been any doubt about. Like there's no doubt. The fucking someone would tie on your shirt when you were a teenager. Like, fucking, like everybody believed in you from the minute you were a kid.
Exactly.
Been universally praised basically since he started playing football.
And like across the board, like people that didn't want like England to have any success have just went, that guy's legit.
Yeah.
And then he stood up to all the doubters, and you're like, party on that, man. But I guess if that's what makes you fucking drive yourself, your imaginary haters.
Well, Mourinho's done it so long that he actually developed haters. It does work. Yeah. I've heard some other people say Declan Rice just because no one else in the team does that kind of job. But thinking about it, Bellingham could go back and do that job. Yeah. And Mainu looks like he could be all right as well.
He's decent.
I didn't think he'll feature that much in this tournament. So I didn't think he'll be the difference maker. But I tell you what, fucking Adam Wharton when he came on last night, I don't think he should get dropped. And he's probably, it's already written that he's one of the people getting dropped. Out of the 7, because it's a big cut that they do. Like, I think they should keep me.
Who would you cut from the squad? Or like, you don't need to go through all of them, but are there any obvious names?
I'd need to see the list in front of us, to start chopping names.
Aye.
But I didn't think you can't really drop Ollie Watkins because you need depth at the front. But he didn't do a great deal last night. Like
No.
nah. And then Eze put a real case up for his shirt. And he was probably maybe one of the ones that was on the fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then sort of like if you're going right, we're going to take them 2 Palace lads. Like where you going to cut?
Yeah.
I
It's a
think-
nice problem to have, mate. Trust me.
Oh, aye, there's some quality players.
We would take any of them in our fucking team.
I think that game last night gave him more of a headache.
Aye.
I think it gave him more of a headache than he had before the game. He was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's give them all a shot. And then a couple of the lads just went and announced themselves.
Aye.
No.
And then I think Cole Palmer's got to go. He's got to go
After
to the
that
tournament.
season,
100%,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get like he's got the most goal contributions this season. Like,
He'll take penalty takers, man.
aye. Actually, that's a very good point.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
first
a very
penalty
good
taker
point.
right there.
Aye, because he just looks so calm for a 21-year-old. Like he just looks like nothing phases him at all. And bear in mind, he was at the shit show that is Chelsea this season,
Aye.
and looked that good. Like you've got to
unbelievable
credit him.
that they just fucking managed to get up into the top 6 and
Aye.
like where they're meant to be. They're considered a top 6 team and they landed in the drop zone. Unbelievable that. Like I couldn't believe that happened. And then they fucking went through another carousel with the manager. Like what the fuck is going on with that club,
Fucking
man?
mad. It's so good to watch though.
Yeah.
Because they were the fucking the first cunts that bought the success.
It's a little sideshow, isn't it? That's
and
ongoing.
it's fucking completely fucked.
Yeah.
You'll need to change the way you say that because your club will be that.
Yeah,
very
I
soon.
know, right? But all the Chelsea fans became Man City fans, and now they're going to be Newcastle fans.
Yeah. And the thing with Cole Palmer going to Chelsea is that City could just get rid of him and it didn't affect them whatsoever. Like they still won the league, losing a
Isn't that mad?
40 goal contributions player.
Despite everything, what a shrewd bit of business by Chelsea.
Yeah, like,
Like you can only say that about that like one moment.
Yeah.
in the
And the
last
rest of
while.
it was mental, like 100
Yeah.
million for Caicedo.
Just disguised in the chaos of everything else that they did. You know, but I guess broken clock.
Aye.
But yeah, it's like after Abramovich left, people are like, oh, are we going to see a new sort of calm, sensible Chelsea? No,
No.
it's
baby.
going to be even more insane.
Mental.
But just not backed by Russian oligarchs anymore. If you could take any player, say from that golden generation, like in air quotes, like sort of 2000s period, and bring him into this squad, who would you take from that and put it in here?
Oh, it would have to be a centre back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the sensible thing.
There
Yeah.
might be better players in other areas of the park, but we've got that covered.
Yeah.
There's a bit of harmony there, whereas like fucking looking at
Ferdinand or Campbell or
Harry
something like that.
Maguire or
Yeah.
Dunk or Gahey, who I've heard fucking Palace players say
Aye.
liability.
Yeah.
Palace fans, sorry,
Aye.
the players probably speak respectfully. You got to take John Terry or Rio Ferdinand, aren't
Yeah.
you? Like you're gonna take one of them boys to
Yeah. Yeah,
to fill the gap that is Harry Maguire.
both captains both can play with the
Aye,
ball at
or-
their feet as well.
Or
Like,
Ashley Cole.
yeah.
Ashley Cole would probably be a good choice. Can I have two?
I'll try and make it happen, mate.
Can you let us have Ashley Cole and John Terry in this
Aye.
current crop of players?
I asked a couple other people that question, other England fans, and they all went to basically David Seaman straight away because they don't trust Pickford at all.
Oh
Despite the fact-
man, the Geordies were booing Pickford last night.
Oh, yeah.
Like not everybody. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Aye.
I couldn't bring myself, but like I wasn't
You
against, I wasn't
understood
against it.
Aye,
I was like, I'm not gonna be. Oh, shut up, man. That's not on that. He's your own lad.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
I feel it. I just had a bit more control than you.
Oh, I don't doubt for a second if Scotland ever played at Celtic, any Rangers player or former Rangers player would get booed like fuck all. I mean, they'd never do it because it'd just be stupid to do it at one of our.
I think the people that care that much about it are supporting Ireland or England. Do you
Aye,
know what I
that's
mean?
true.
They won't be
actually,
watching
yeah.
Scotland games.
That's true. That's true.
Too staunch.
What else do I want to talk about? So, what? In fact, like, who else is in your group? It's Denmark, Slovenia, and Serbia.
So that's the one I'm going to the Slovenia game. That's
Yeah.
the one I'm getting to. And then Serbia and Denmark will be. I reckon Denmark will be the tougher of the three.
Yeah.
But like, you expect that by the time I get out there. Like, this is the worst with being an England fan. Your expectations are high,
Yeah,
so
of
they can only ever be like undercut.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that when I go, it's dead rubber, and we're already through. And hopefully, just so that we get to see the best crop of players, you're fighting for top of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you get the better draw.
Yeah.
That's what I expect that we're at.
Yeah.
we're probably going to be on 4 points and it's going to be banana skin.
Yeah.
So it's where the reality is compared to expectations, because there's a massive misalignment in England fans.
I'd say like there are tough teams in that group. Like obviously Serbia are quite a difficult team. They've got good results in the past. Same with Denmark, but
and they're always quite unpredictable. Them fighty teams like Hungary or something, like, you know, where they play a little bit of pub football and like they're harder to play against than maybe more organised teams where you can predict what they're going to be like.
Yeah. But I still think like, and I hate to say it, but you've got so much quality in that team. Like you should be able to handle it.
Yeah, but hopefully that's not in their heads and they don't try and do it in second gear.
Yeah, that is true.
Because you'd love to see them play with the intensity of Newcastle.
Yeah,
like you want to see that like fucking pressing, but they're probably not going to do that. They're probably going to play a lot more conservative.
Yeah, especially at a tournament where you're like, we've got to think about the next round constantly, not get injured. Let's not expend all our energy right now. You know.
I would honestly love a manager style of like let's score more goals than them.
Yeah,
I'd love to go in and watch that and just watch with like that fucking Poirier point at the canvas in the last 5 seconds, even though you're probably going to win on points. And I'd like to see that fucking how well then you think you're going to score 2, we'll score 3, like that kind of attitude. Whereas we're probably going to like try and grind a 1-0, like with a team that's like top loaded with attacking quality and really leaky at the back.
It's a very good point. Like. Because who would you start as your like centre back partnership? Because
I think John Stones, is the shoe in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then like look and going fucking just to go back to that 2018 thing of having Kyle Walker as part of a back three just to fucking steady it up, because of back four with just Maguire there, you just feel a bit nervous, don't you? And I think he will go with that.
Not fancy Branthwaite at all, the Everton lad.
It would be nerve-wracking for him, like it would be a big ask for it to just throw him in the deep end with like a huge responsibility. It's easier to do that with an attacking player, I feel.
Because your mistakes aren't going to cost you a goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think if he'd had maybe a bit more of a run, at like the in the build-up.
Yeah. And
he come on off the bench there. I tell you what though, Konsa, he played every position except goal last night. He started as right back, ended up coming on as left back, moving over to left back when Trent dropped in, and then he finished the game at centre half. Yeah, that's class to have that kind of versatility. Whether he'll be first choice in any of them positions, I doubt. But it's good to know that he is confident enough at that level to just slip into any role.
He's been decent for Villa for a while now. It's not like he's not experienced. Obviously not internationally, but he's a decent player. What about so you go wing backs then rather than, or would you do 3 at the back? How would you
that's what it would take to do that. But then I'm slipping into the conservative Gareth Southgate fucking let's reinforce rather than going for the jugular. So that's not what I would do. But like with the options we've got, playing conservative football, I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah. I said that. No, you're right though. That would be really disappointing from England because they do have so many options in the forward line. Like there's that big debate about where you play Foden. Do you put him in the wing or do you put him in the midfield and just make it a really attacking midfield? I'd be disappointed. Obviously, I want to see England go out as soon as possible, but I know you're here, mate. But that's what I want to see.
Do that, then how would you line us up for that to be the most plausible outcome? What would be the lineup where you went? Fucked it.
I'll get the squad up.
He's Maguire straight
away. He's the massive banana skin
man.
In my squad, isn't he?
I'd keep James Trafford in the squad and put him in goal. Put it that way. Lewis Dunk, put him at the back. I actually quite like Lewis Dunk, but he's the worst option now. And Curtis Jones, put him in midfield and play Ollie Watkins up front by himself. That's what I would do. Honestly, like if I was
it's glaring, that hole in the back, isn't it? It's absolutely glaring. I think, you know what, if we want to go for success with a more attacking lineup, I think the answer probably is like a Branthwaite or a Konsa or something, and just like put an experienced head like John Stones alongside somebody that's hungry.
Stones is that good as well now that he can pick up a lot of the slack. The problem is he does tend to go forward, but that's at Man City. Might not do that.
But if you're playing your right back is like Kyle Walker, then they're gonna slot in. How
far do you think they'll go in the tournament? Do you think you've got a shot at winning it?
I get to the group,
Aye.
and then what the fuck's the draw? Let's until we meet France.
Yeah.
Yeah, aye.
France are putting Maud at some point.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to think that would go on toe to toe with anybody else
Yeah.
in the tournament, but I do feel like we're massive underdogs against the French.
I think everyone this tournament is really like, I can't see past France.
Aye, I can see them just walking it, man.
Aye, they've been together for a long time. The manager's been there for a long time. They've got Mbappe and
What you want is them in the last 16 to have a ridiculous sending off and just fucking get ducked against all the odds and just leave it as an open tournament for the fucking remaining 3 rounds.
Although to be fair, every now and then they do have a absolute shocker of a tournament, and it has been a while since they've had one, so they might be due a catastrophic collapse. Didn't it? Was it the World?
Oh wait a minute, was it not like fucking Switzerland in recent years or something? Was it?
Yeah, actually, that was in the Euros, the last Euros. Yeah.
Senegal done them at the World Cup, and it was like 2002, mine, but like that was when they were the holders.
Aye.
And they came in and lost the first game 1-0.
With a current crop, Switzerland were the
Yeah.
Don't big them up there in our group. Like Switzerland, let's not big them up.
They're another team though. You just don't know.
Aye.
Like you just don't know what they can do. Like they could.
You've got to get past Big Shaw.
Aye, like they could finish the group with 0 points, or they could get to a semi-final. You just don't know with these games.
That is the thing. Like, obviously we'll take just getting out of the group, but England do have a realistic chance of going far. But the problem is, and I don't take any joy in saying this, but every time you've come up against a proper quality side in the past few international tournaments, it's always been your undoing. Like Colombia were probably the highest level of team that you beat recently.
Germany.
Oh, Germany.
Probably the
a decline, but it was a
one,
decline in Germany.
And that's also why it was such a fucking big event.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh right, you
can believe now. Like
we're actually beating decent teams now rather than the ones that we're just expected to beat.
Yeah.
I'm dead excited about Scotland being in the tournament like last year. Like that was the first time in fucking ages, wasn't it? What was the actual tally? Like 20 odd years.
1998 would have been the one before that. Yeah, so
like 20 years.
Over 20 years. Yeah.
Aye.
So that's like I've been with my last 12 years, and that's the first tournament we get to watch together that we both had a team in.
Aye.
And she's kind of boot. She's not like typical Scot that fucking hates on England. She's kind of boot it. She knows that like that makes me happy, so that makes her happy. That, like vice versa. Like I'm fucking rooting for Scotland. Like I want her to enjoy it. But man, when England played Scotland, she wasn't my wife. Like, fuck me, I was watching the game under the floorboards. Like, fucking, I was in Nazi Germany trying to hide from the Gestapo.
To be fair, like you said though, I actually do like a lot of English players. I like a lot of the team. Like
it's the media that makes you hate them.
Yeah, it's because obviously you'll know this now because you live up here. But all our international tournament media is English pundits, English commentators, English this. So whenever we're watching an international tournament and England could not be playing for 3 days, all the coverage is still about England.
Oh yeah,
like
you could be watching.
Shut up and talk about Spain, Portugal, mate.
France, Switzerland's on a massive game. They're about to go out and you're watching Gaza's fucking goal against Scotland.
Exactly.
Nothing to do with the game that you're watching. Like it's, I mean, I'll watch that all day, but fucking hell, it must be like water torture for you.
Aye. And some of the fans as well. You get this with some teams, obviously, like the way they're vocalising like their expectations to just go out and win, and the way they talk about other countries and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, could you just know for 5 minutes, like, you know, just...
Well, that's what I get the hatred because you don't want to see entitled people win.
Yeah.
Like the fucking that it's coming home. So like fucking hell, if you did believe in jinxing it, that's the jinx. That's the jinx. Stop singing that one, mate. Where you jinxing it? But if that's happening, like, which is bad when like. You support Arsenal?
Yeah.
Because that's entitlement from
absolutely.
Arsenal. And
I don't like Arsenal fans.
It's the same people. You're like, oh, I fucking love Arsenal. I hate England. It's the same people.
Oh, absolutely. I don't like Arsenal fan TV though. I don't like any of their fans.
It's great content.
Yeah. I just sort of... Arsenal, it was more because... France 98 was like the first tournament I really got into football. And I loved watching France. And a lot of French players played for Arsenal. So I was like... I'll just follow this team, and then that's just been it from there. Obviously, it's Celtic are my main team. That's my actual team.
Yeah, because he did have quite a French contingent then, didn't he?
Yeah, like Petit,
Perez.
Vieira, Perez, Henri, and Elka would have been there at that, but like there was just loads, and
obviously Wenger.
Exactly. So it just kind of worked out that way, and then it turned out they played really, really nice football, and you know, my dad wanted me to be a Man United fan. Because that's what you try to raise me as. That's what my sister supports, and I was like, that feels a bit too easy.
I got chucked in a Man United top when I was a kid, man. Fucking, it's my mum and dad didn't give a fuck about football.
Oh really?
And my auntie owned a sports shop, like just a fucking small business, and they fucking got a Man United top, fucking chucked it on us and all that. And I was like, I tried to fucking get along with it, like can't know that. Fucking got it beat out of us. I think I got chinned by me brother. You know, didn't do that again. But fucking that was a thing, Man United back in the day, like fucking. There's probably so many people that just support Man United from that era, from just the fucking fanfare of them.
100%. Because you see it like change as success changes. Like, because there's a lot of people not from Liverpool who sort of grew up watching football in the like 60s and 70s when they were the best team, that are obsessed with Liverpool and like they're nowhere near the city. And London's filled with Man U fans, like our generation. And I don't think it'll be quite the same with Man City because it's a bit different now, but like it will happen. Like
they can't even buy supporters, man.
do you hear they're planning to extend the stadium? I don't know who for, but
where's that Man City? Fucking hell. That was so funny because when Newcastle were playing Man City, like obviously Celtic the away end, I was like, aye, but you can probably just get tickets on the door.
Yeah,
you can probably just wag up and fucking buy in.
Domino's UK responded to it, said we can make our pizza boxes bigger but not change the size of our pizza. Like basically just saying that's the same.
That's
fucking
really
that's really good, man.
That's really funny.
It is. I don't know. It's wild.
Can you remember Zoo magazine?
I do remember Zoo magazine.
Zoo,
I didn't buy it, Mum, but I do remember Zoo magazine.
Because when I first started stand up, I got a joke in there, and it was. I thought the new FIFA was realistic, and then I saw the stadium light full.
Unreal.
I was about to say, aren't Sunderland fans quite attentive normally? But I was about to say good, but one of them apparently fucked a seagull, so I can't
get that in your fringe poster, mate. As seen in Zoo
magazine. But I like at the time, at that time in my life, getting in Zoo magazine, slagging off Sunderland was like a proper career.
Yes.
Well, actually, that was something that broke on the news just as I was coming in here. Man City are trying to sue the Premier League for the financial fair play rules. They say they're not fair. If
funny.
The people that own us want to sponsor our club, they should be able to sponsor it by for whatever amount.
Oh yeah, as a Newcastle fan, I should be signing up next to them. It's all designed to protect the big six. Just like that little fucking worm tongue. Tell them this.
To be fair though, it is kind of like when.
Oh yeah. The fact that like fucking Chelsea and Man United and all that can just spend what they want, fucking how billions at players and all that, and then fucking they're taking points off Everton and having a word with Nottingham Forest and all that. You're like, oh yeah, you're literally protecting the elite clubs.
Yeah,
from their status, and it's like the fact that they were going to break off into that Super League's just proof of the point that they're trying to ring fence where they are. And as a Newcastle fan, you want to break into that. Like you do want to break into that. So when you see Man City fighting the bad fight, you can swift spin it into a good one.
Well, that's the thing. Like, because Everton and Nottingham both came forward and were just like, look, we're honest about it, and they gave all the information, they got like lesser punishments. City are not only not doing that, but they're now counter-suing.
Mate, I've seen somewhere that City are like 15-1 to get relegated next season. Like, cause they're going to get a hefty sanction next season, apparently.
It's
and like
November,
whenever the odds drop like that, somebody knows something somewhere.
What do you think? What do you think that would look like? What do you think if Man City got relegated because of that? Right? Do all of their players leave?
I know.
Do some of them have a little bit of loyalty and just go and let's just fucking fire back up?
Let's just smash the Championship to pieces.
No, because they'd have to, because if you think about it, the Championship has even stricter
Oh, it would be like the
rules.
gods. It would be like the gods turning up in a fucking jail football match. Like
They'd have to sell everybody because you can't pay those wages in the Championship. They've got even tighter financial rules in the Premier League, so they'd have to let
so they'd have to take a pay cut.
everybody go or take a pay cut.
Which they're all mercenaries at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're not going to do that,
fucking,
man. They're not going to do that.
You might have Phil Foden, that's like fucking loyal to the badge.
Yeah, but that's it.
You know what though? The fucking youth team could probably pop it.
That is true.
They could just fucking come up with a youth team. Just
Oscar Bob. See, I didn't call him Phil Babb this time. I remember.
Phil Babb. I called him Phil Babb. He was like, who was it scored the winner against Newcastle again? Phil Babb.
Sideshow Babb.
Yeah, that wasn't my proudest moment of the podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, if they get relegated next season, we might actually fucking win a league again. So I'll be quite happy.
Oh
with
man,
it.
that would be so funny if they
if they get relegated, we still lose.
Shit the bed, aye.
If they got relegated, fucking Liverpool are going through a transition in their manager. Like fucking the door's wide open for you, and you fucking lose to Man U. Spurs.
Okay, Spurs seems slightly more likely. Man U, and I can't see them recovering until Ten Hag's gone. I just don't think he's anywhere near being good enough for Man United.
But he's been more successful than Arteta. He didn't finish 8th in both his first seasons.
No, this is his second full season.
So he's had 8th and 4th. Arteta had 8th and 8th. So if you're judging them by where they were at Arteta's point, he's got 2 cups. At that point, Arteta had 1, and arguably that was Emery's.
But Arteta was doing his first ever managerial job. Eric Ten Hag had been in management for quite
that probably
some time
explains
before.
why he's doing better. No, but you can see I've literally been I've been a prick. I've been a prick, right? I'm using facts to make it look like Arteta's worse than he is. But Arteta was building something, and it's proof to the point that he's built something good.
Yeah.
I really think Ten Hag's winging it. Like, but he is winning stuff. Like,
but 8th place for Man United, like.
Oh, it's the worst they've ever finished. And that's the first time Newcastle finished above them. Which is like,
and they've also got a minus goal difference.
Yeah, that shots like, faced and all that.
Yeah,
like,
shocking. They've had absolutely shocking.
Like,
season.
I don't care if he's built whatever he's building is shit. That's
they still managed to put us out of Europe.
I know, it's fucking bogging. Like,
but I don't know if it's just with being a Newcastle fan, but I'd fucking love a trophy. So if a manager's won 2 trophies 2 years, like in consecutive seasons, won a trophy in each season, I'd look at that like a success. But Man United fans have just got a different expectation. They're so fucking trophies are so normalised for them.
Yeah.
That they're just like, no, we need more than this. Like,
absolutely, yeah. Once you've dominated the league for 20 years, a League Cup and a FA Cup in 2 years just won't do it anymore. Like they want the top prize, and I think they're miles off.
And Ten Hag did win the FA Cup with a much worse team than Arsenal.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Much was
like not one. I didn't think one of them players would get into the Arsenal team.
Oh no,
first 11.
No,
Ten Hag did it with them, and Arteta got out.
You can maybe
just gonna keep picking the team.
I was going to say you
won't sleep at night, man.
You can maybe make a case for Bruno, but probably not over Odegaard.
Nah.
Probably not. So no, I don't think
you'd have to change system to fit him in.
Yeah, and accept a cunt, which is not really some. Bruno Fernandes is a knob, man. He's such a knob. But then again, sometimes you like him.
Isn't he?
Just always whinging, man.
Well, there we go. I think we'll probably wrap it up a bit there.
Bruno Fernandes is a prick.
Yeah, that's the takeaway from this Newcastle / Euros themed podcast. Bruno Fernandes is a bailing. So there we go. Well, Kai, it's been amazing having you on. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, lads. I enjoy the tournament.
Probably not, but you might.
Sorry, when Scotland gone out, you'll have another fucking 15 teams to root for.
I know. Yes. That reminds me, I need to buy a France top.
I'm sure someone will give you one over there, mate. Give you one. Anyway, that's it from us. So it's goodbye from Patrick.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Kai. Goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bags.